My name is Brian Schiller, and we're here to talk about making the Kwik Stand Bow Stand. So this is a Kwik Stand Bow Stand. This is made here in our factory in Wauconda, Illinois. This is to keep your bow upright while you're out field arching, target archery, things like that, so that way you can move on instead of laying it down in the dirt, grime. So step one is just coming up with an idea and putting that to the drawing board, coming up with a CAD design, and then we move on to 3D printing and then actually field testing it before we go into the process of actually making the mold to make the product. Step two, after we finish field testing, the product is good to go. We'll then move on to the mold making process. We'll get a mold made up, which is made out of hardened steel, and that is where the plastic is injected, and then we move on to trimming and assembly. And then the next step is actually taking those parts that just came out of the injection mold and trimming them down. You're gonna have what's called a runner that comes off these parts. So you're gonna have to trim those off, make sure they're nice, clean, consistent, inspect them for any imperfections, and make sure it's of Dubro or Pine Ridge quality. This is our assembly area of the Kwik Stand. Obviously, these are the legs that come out of the machine. So these get preloaded with a nylock nut, and then you're assembling two of these together, like so, and then we're adding the actual colored legs for whatever we have orders for to go out the door. And for the next step, we have packaging. We like to have our product displayed nice and unique on a shelf or a stand. So we have an actual cutout clamshell that was custom made for our Kwik Stand. Kwik Stand drops right in there like so. We got our little paper backer, and this just crimps down right like so. And we're ready to go on a stand or a shelf in distributors and retailers across the world.